Let's talk beach umbrellas because so many of my patients will say, well, I'm not always great about sunscreen or reapplying it, but I am always under my beach umbrella. And that is great. It's one way to achieve sun protection, but the challenge is how much UV protection are you actually getting? So let's review this because beach umbrellas do provide shade. They are blocking visible light, sunlight from hitting your skin, but there are so many factors that impact its ability to block UV from hitting your skin that we need to review these so you really understand and choose the right umbrella for that particular purpose. So there was a study that looked at sunburns in two different groups of people at the same beach in midday sun. One group was using beach umbrellas alone, another group was wearing an SPF of 100. Now they actually looked at the incidence of sunburns in both groups. Those people that used a beach umbrella alone had a much higher incidence of developing a sunburn than those using an SPF of 100. It's always important to note that both groups did experience sunburns, which only proves the point that there is no perfect sun protective method. However, that being said, it is important to use combinations of methods to really effectively protect your skin from UV damage. The ability of a beach umbrella to actually block UV is based on a number of factors. This ranges from the material the umbrella is made with, how wide the umbrella is in terms of how much actual coverage it provides you, not just from direct sunlight from the top, but also from the sides. Because remember, at varying times of the day, when you're midday, you're going to have the UV coming down from the top, but also scatter from the sides. The sun is always on the move. It's not just in one location. It's actually progressing over top of you, so that before noon and afternoon, we have to consider east and west sun exposure and north and south, depending on which hemisphere you happen to be in during those midday sun hours. Recognizing that all of those factors need to be taken into consideration means it's worthy of considering umbrellas that provide that full range of coverage. But also consider the fact that not all of us actually physically take an umbrella to the beach. Sometimes we're dependent on whatever's available in terms of a rental at a resort or what have you. This is where companies, especially hotels and resorts, really need to take into consideration best practices for their consumers and consider the fact that when they choose materials for umbrellas or for cabanas, this is a great opportunity to ensure that there is actual UV protection built into these textiles so that their clientele is not getting a false sense of security, thinking that they're getting shade, but they're still getting UV exposure right through those products. There are a lot of people out there that sometimes rely exclusively on umbrellas and physical means of blockage, which is reasonable if we can make sure that you actually have access to those means. You want to make sure that you're choosing clothing items that have been tested for sun protection, as well as umbrellas, awnings, cabana materials that are also tested for that protection, because if that's your intent, you need to make sure it's present in those products.